You might have gone to the bank or you might have used a bond originator and you got a decline when you were doing a bond application looking for money at the bank and they said no to you. Well, my good friends, in today's video, I am going to be able to help you find the perfect home loan for you. This is obviously using my years of experience from my banking, and over and above that, my years of experience applying for loans myself. I want to assure you, my good friends, that lenders, these are the banks, lenders, they are always ready to give you some money, because that's their business. They sell money. So they only survive because you are getting some home loans from them. So today's video, I'm going to explore a number of home loans, and I'm going to give you the solution of how best we can be able to do this. And I will also be going along. I suggest you take some notes as I go along. But as I go along, I'll also be able to give you snippets of what you need to be doing. If we are meeting for the first time, my name is TJ, your host, and I'm a former banker and founder here at the TJ Tribe. And I do business with a focus in student accommodation, flips, which is buy and sell, and coaching, with the hope that all of us, as young, upcoming modern parents, we can be able to have passive income from real estate. Welcome to the channel. There's a number of home loans. Number one, there is number of banks in South Africa. The last count that I did, we were just about 50 banks in South Africa that can give you loans, but people don't know these banks. But today's focus is just basically to share with you the different products that they are out there and to see which one obviously then fits you, because there is no one size fit all. And there is a person who is called a bond originator, and we have partnered up with a very cool bond originator. They are very tech company, so they give us a system and we work within the system, and they are affiliated to just over 40 banks that they can be able to get loans from you. But I want to speak today to the number of products. So let's go ahead. Product number one, we're going to call it a product here, or should I say option number one. Option number one is what we call a standard home loan. A standard home loan basically is, I think for many of us, if we've bought our first homes, or maybe we saw our parents buying their homes, they went through the traditional home loan. In this loan, the borrower, which is you get to be financed with the bank for round about between 20 to 30 years. It comes with what they call fixed interest rate. So fixed interest rates, if they say the interest rate is 12%, for the rest of that life cycle of that bond, it is basically 15% or whatever the rate is. And then there's what they call variable interest. Variable interest is that as the interest rates change from the bank, so does your interest rates kicks in. Payment terms, they typically range obviously from 20 years to all the way to 30 years. That's what it basically means. And it's generally available for anybody who is willing. You can finance up to around about 90%, but with a good credit record, you can get all the way to 100%. And this, my friend, is what we call a standard home loan. Going to option number two, this speaks to those people that have never bought a property before, and it's called a first-time buyer home loan. First-time buyer home loan. And yes, this is designed for people that are coming in for first time. It is aimed specifically at individuals buying a home for the first time. So this loan can also include other things like the deposit. And the government has also included, there's a program that they've got which includes for people who are only buying for first time, which is called the flips. It's FLISP, which stands for Finance Linked Individual Subsidy Program. I think they've changed the name if I'm not mistaken. But basically, it follows again the rules of the standard home loan that we spoke about. But the difference here is that flips is coming in with an X amount of money. There is guidelines in which you need to consider. So if you are interested, you can reach out to us on the link that I'm going to give you, and you can indicate you're a first-time home buyer, and we will then make sure that you can qualify for this. The guys that are partnered up with the system that they've built for us, this can be able to do that. Now, I did mention that the best person to give you a good rate is a bond originator. So in other words, what we have done here is we've partnered up with this bond originator. So the system that they're giving us enables us here at the TJ Tribe to be able to get more loans at a reasonable price, and the guys can be able to chase for all of this for you without doing anything. As a bond originator, you, my friends, you don't pay anything. The banks get to pay the bond originator, bringing in all the clients to them. The other option that I want to speak to is, I think this is where all of us we chase for. I want to call it the 100% home loan. But I know some banks, they give all the way to 110, 115%. I've seen this. And basically this loan here covers for the full purchase of the property, meaning that because it's 100%, so I'm taking 100% plus, 100% deposit plus, they are considering including the deposit, and in some cases they've also included your transfer fees. They were also included in there, or it's heavily discounted. So there is banks that are offering that. And yes, my friends, your bond originator here at the TJ Tribe, they can be able to do this for you. The next option is what I want to explain, which is one of my favorites product in the home loan space, is the home loan with access facility. In other spaces, they call it a Flexi Loan. Now, this type of a loan, my good friends, you can access it, and you can also access any extra. So if your payment is like, let's say 10,000 every month, and for the last 5 years, you've been paying an additional 5 grand or additional 500, this 500 that we're talking about, which is extra, is what is now can be accessed to you. So it's great. I really like it, because what you can do, you can also use it to pay, and then it can chip off your capital, and you can also use it as a saving component, and you can also access your amount as and when you need, and you can use that money for anything. Again, it comes with either a variable or a fixed interest rate. I hope that makes sense. Another option is a construction loan, a builder's loan. I'm not going to speak much about it, but it's basically what it is here at the TJ Tribe. I want you to take advantage of many of the real estate that is already available, because that gets you to quick return on investment rather than building from scratch. Of late, at the time of this recording, just building is more expensive than actually buying an asset that is around. So I will not dive into that, but we can always talk about that. If you are interested in construction, let me know in the comments. Say, TJ, expand on this. What do you mean by that? I'll be able to explain it a little bit further. If you're in property investment, at some point or the other, you've had to evict someone. And I know, my friends, it is a painful exercise, but I'm here to tell you that for the last couple of years, I've been using a company that is called Expello. Expello, basically what they do is that you pay them a monthly fee, and over and above that, whenever you get a delinquent tenant, they will come and evict that individual free of charge, because obviously you've been paying, right? And over and above that, you don't have to do anything. But guess what? I have managed to organize a good price for you. And the link here that you're seeing, which is called expello.link/TJ Tribe, gets you a great discount from Expello. So my friends, don't be caught with your pants down on your tenant. Just Expello them with Expello. It is TJ. Let's go back to the video. The next option that I also like is called the bond switch, or it's called a refinance loan. Over the years, we have seen banks fighting for clients, the good clients. So you got a bond with FNB, and all of a sudden ABSA is coming in and say, hey, you can switch to us. And basically what they do here is that they will then take whatever bond that you have to the next bank. But there is a very typical cost that comes in that a lot of people don't understand. You might be paying, let's say 13%, then the other bank is offering you 11%. I generally say to people, rather speak to that bank so that they can lower your interest rate to 11%. Show them what the other bank is offering you. But the reason why I'm saying that is because you're running at a cost that's called a registration fee. So if they are offering you 11%, which is much lower than what you're paying today, that's great. So it's a better loan, better terms, whatever the case is. But typically when you're doing the switch, it obviously involves a bond registration, but it also depends on the type of a property that you have. So the next bank might be able to accommodate the registration fee, and this depends on a case by case. So my good friends, if you're wanting to do a switch, hey, let us know and we'll be able to help you. My favorite one of my favorite ones is I've been doing deals over the years. It's called an equity release. So this is a top-up loan, let's calling it that, equity release. So equity release is a product that allows homeowners to access the equity in the property. Exactly that. So you got equity in it, you've been paying it, or maybe you have inherited a property, and you can then be able to access the equity. I always say to people, once you go through and tap into your equity, try to do something meaningful with that money. Buying another asset is the best that I always recommend for people, for me. But here we do not do financial advice. We just teach you what we are doing here. And you can then take that and obviously apply it into your own space, speak to whatever professionals that you need to, and see whatever that works for you. And that's what we do. Second last is what we call the non-resident home loan. I think a lot of people, they reach out to me from overseas. TJ, can we get a loan in South Africa? Yes, you can. The good thing is you can, wherever you are. You might be in New Zealand, Singapore, Japan, any of our other African countries, you can. The banks will accommodate you for as long as you qualify, you got some requirements, you meet the requirements, and they can be able to verify you. But they require a higher deposit. So generally for non-resident, the deposit is generally anything from 30 to 50%. The lowest I've seen is 30%. The highest I have seen is 50%. So you can see there, if you're buying a property for 1 million rand, but you do not have that deposit. Let's assume you're buying a 3 million rand bond, right? The banks is literally saying to you, you need to have your 1.5 million of your own money. But hey, if you're coming from England and you're buying here, the conversion might just be on your side, because obviously the rand and the pound there will play an effect if you got some money that is saved there wherever you are. Now the last one which I wanted to dive into, which I think is very interesting, and this here product has also got a little bit of legs, so it has other products in it, but this is I remember my wife and I, shortly before we got married, we went out to buy a property and we used this home loan option, and it's called the joint home loan. What's a joint home loan? It is when two parties or more are coming together and they are going to buy a property. So it can be family members, or it can be like me, husband and boyfriend and girlfriend, like me. We did that, and it is something that is helpful. However, there's also husband and wife, right? So you can do that. But I want to emphasize here, it says two or more parties, which means that it can be 3 people, it can be 4 people. Of late, I have seen the banks, FNB, I think it was, and ABSA, what they basically did is they created another product. Out of this product, they created another one, and they called it a stokvel. So it's geared for people that are in these clubs. You guys who are wanting to do these clubs, and you want to club together, and now you're wanting to go and buy something, and they say, hey, I think it's up to 12. I think, if I'm not mistaken, but we can check it out, and then in the comments let me know. I think it's up to 12 members. You can be able to have what is called a joint home loan. So there you are, my good friends. How many home loans are there? There's plenty of them. On top of that, there's plenty of banks that we can reach out to. And like I did say, we have partnered up with a cool technology company, and all you need to do is to create your account, load your documentation, pre-qualify yourself, and you get pre-qualifications from many banks. And with that, my good friends, that's what we call you bond ready, so that when the opportunity comes, you are not looking for all this documentation and you lose on the deal. So it's important for you to be bond ready. So jump onto the system right now, tonight, and you can be able to get all of your paperwork in. It's very simple. It's connected to all the systems, and over and above that, you get to understand how much you qualify for. It's important to know how much you qualify for. Then you can go and look for the rightful property, rightful investments, because that's how much you qualify. So until we see each other, my friends, I hope this has been of good information. Here at the TJ Tribe, we always try to give you free information to help you just move to the next mile, which is getting you the modern parent to earn passive income in real estate. So we'll see you on the next video right here at the TJ Tribe.